Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Hello, Tracy. Boss moves in the house.
Boss Moves is in the house. Good morning.
How are you? How are you? Janet, good morning. Joseph, down there in Florida. Good to see you. I need to get some. I need to refill my coffee. Here's what I need to do. See if I can get away here and do it. Marcelino's on the road, he says. Janet's got her coffee.
Yep, I
So,
need mine too.
I got something in my throat. How's everybody doing? Good? Bill, good morning.
Morning, brother. How you been?
I'm good.
Good,
It's been busy.
good. I like that.
Yeah, it's a good thing for sure. Busy times.
Love it.
Jeff, good morning. How are you, sir?
Been a rough week, actually. Rough
Are you
couple of
feeling
weeks.
better? I know you were sick there.
I was sick, and it was on the heels of my mom passing away a couple
Oh,
days
I'm sorry.
before.
Oh,
I'm
sorry
so
to hear.
sorry,
Like,
Jeff.
combination of being sick while planning for a funeral, and that came and
Yeah,
went, and it's been a
that's
hard
a lot.
time. Thank
That's a lot. I'm sorry, man. Well, if we can help you at all here, let us know. Mike, good morning. Good to see you.
you.
Good
Definitely here.
morning.
See you
Michael.
on see you on Zoom later today.
Yes, sir.
There you go. Looking forward to it. Gayleen, how are you?
I'm well. I'm hoping to eventually get a camera on my desktop.
Yeah,
Sorry about that. Uh,
they're about
it-
$10 anymore at Best Buy. You
was
can get
gonna say, I
go
think
to
I got,
Walmart. You can get a camera for
I
well,
think
I
I've got
have a
about
camera.
4 in tubs.
what's that,
I
Gayleen?
have a camera. I just need my daughter to help me set it up. I'm not techie whatsoever.
Yeah, I hear you. It's not as hard as you think. I've become
Well,
tech support for my mom. You know, at least once a week I get a. It's usually the Roku. So
yeah. Yeah. Well,
Right
I'm up
there with
there
you.
with your mom, so believe me, it's not fun.
no,
And my daughter just hates it, but she's my main support.
yeah, I've got my daughter. My daughter's helped me with some of this stuff every now and then. But anyway, so let's get into what. Who's got something? Who wants to share something? Anybody got some wins they want to talk about? Good things going on wherever you are in your market or anything? Any wins? Anybody? Somebody's got some wins.
I just found out I have a closing on the 25th.
Oh, there you go.
Everything's clear, so it's good
That's
to go.
good. Week from today. Good for you.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It
Very cool. Is
isn't
that,
a win yet, but I've been spending the last couple of months in between deals trying to get deals made in order to meet my financial obligations. I've been driving for Lyft, which means I've been having a captive audience. I'm doling out my cards to everybody's in my back seat, and eventually I just put a sign in my back seat, scan my QR code, excuse me, and then I met this elderly Peruvian man who was just 15 minutes in my car, and he just said, I got my daughter who's in Texas moving to Connecticut, so I'm not only helping the daughter's family move to Connecticut and get a place, a home, well, first an apartment, sorry, and then in a year it'll be a home when her husband moves up from Texas, but I'm also helping that family close their house in Texas, so I connected them with an EXP realtor in San Antonio. So I'm just really grateful for
nice.
being at EXP.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Very cool. Who else? Anybody else got a win? Tracy, you got how are you doing? How's your
Well,
market
as I
business?
listened to Jeff, I remember when I moved from Tennessee to Georgia, I did Uber, and at first, Jeff, I was like, I did hair. I owned a salon in Nashville, and just wanted to kind of walk away from that, and thought I was going to do hair in Georgia. But when I got here, a lot of women were wearing like these wigs and stuff. And I was like, oh my God, I don't know how to make a wig, right? So,
Mhm.
so God said, you're going to Uber. I said, who's going to Uber? Not me. But Uber was the best thing for me. I actually met a lot of people. God said, you're going to learn the city and you're going to meet a lot of people and you'll see the ones coming out of apartments. So you know who's not homeowners and you see the ones, it was a huge opportunity. So God's going to really bless you with that. I do. So yeah, blessings on that. I really enjoyed it. Now I miss Uber. Yeah, thought I was too good for it at first, but honey, no, I really enjoy it.
Awesome.
Well, you can text me later if you have any tips on what I'm doing, because it's working out great for me, but maybe there's some way I could up my game if you have some tips.
Well, we're breaking all the rules. We're not supposed to be pushing another business, but I didn't care if I got fired because I wasn't loyal to Uber anyway. But
Uber's
But
not a way
Uber
to meet.
was my foundation. It really was my foundation. And I really got to meet a lot of people. And it really started me out in Georgia. And I learned the whole city too because of Uber and learned so much from each person that got in my car. And I got the best reviews because, it ended up being like a ministry session every time because we were helping each other. But great news. I mean, I have a couple of $1 million referrals that I just got. One
Nice.
here in Georgia. Well, both of them are here in Georgia. One person's moving from San Diego, selling his home for 3 million, and she found me on. She said the ChatGPT said I was the #1 luxury agent in Georgia. Now we know that's an absolute lie, but maybe I'm wearing Chat out, and Chat thinks I'm #1. But I got a $1 million referral from that. That's crazy. And
Wow.
then I got another one just from someone from Jay's call out of Lynchburg, Virginia, that sent me a client, and we're going Saturday. He's looking for horse barns and things like that. I'm not used to any of that. I'm a country girl, but we never had horses, and so that's taking me into a little arena I'm excited about.
Hey, Brayden.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Peach is
I'm
playing.
well. How are you?
I'll mute her. There you go.
Okay. Yeah. So those two referrals are great. I have about 5 closings in March. I have one this week, Friday in Nashville, but about 5 in March. Hey, spring is springing, so get excited. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
excited about this. Yeah. So nothing but good stuff going on. God's good.
Yeah. Things are moving. I
Awesome.
know we have a closing. Let's see. My wife has a closing on the 22nd. Was that 4 days from now? Is that right? No, 22nd. That's over the weekend. That's
Yeah. No.
must
No.
be
No. So
Monday the
Friday.
23rd.
Yeah, because Friday I got one 20th, so the 22nd, but probably Tuesday or so.
Yeah, we have one next. I think it's next Monday the 23rd, and then we have another one. Just one under contract, a listing. That
Yeah.
one's coming up here in March. Yeah, I don't know. We got another listing we're getting ready to put on. So anyway, things are
Good
starting to
stuff.
move for sure. It's definitely it's not gangbusters like it was. It's not 2021 or whatever, but things are starting to move a little bit. So
Mhm. Mhm.
for sure.
Hey, it's
I'll
Deborah,
tell you one.
Georgia.
Oh,
And
go ahead,
Florida.
Devin.
Go ahead, Deborah.
No, I was just going to say, I just got a lead a few weeks ago from somebody. It was $1 million, million plus that I just closed on. That it just kind of came out of nowhere from an old client, and then I just got another one for 650 that I'm working on right now. So it pays to
Nice.
keep in touch with your people.
Yes, it's awesome.
Do you guys have some good campaigns or things that you do for like after they close? Like the follow up kind of stuff that goes on after closing. You guys have things. Tracy, you have things in place like that.
Well, I put them into my bow trail, and I make sure I invite them to things, just like my
Different
last
events
few,
and things.
yeah, different events that I have. I do a Christmas party. I just did a Galentine's. It was amazing,
Yeah.
and I invite them out to everything. Do they always come? No, but they get the invite. I need to do better on the campaigns, but I do try to check in if I'm in their area. I'm saying, hey, I'm in Fayetteville. I was just thinking of you, and
Yeah.
yeah. So, but no, I don't have a definite campaign. I need more direction in that. That'd be great to have.
Yeah. I used to have one I got when I was part of Craig Proctor's program. He had like a 7-year follow up drip campaign after they
Mhm.
closed. Just
Yeah.
with like once a month there was just an automated thing that went out. I just put everybody in there, and we got a lot of referrals out of it. That was the main thing. And there'd be those clients that would come back. They want to buy an investment property, or they 7 years. The whole idea was 7 years later they're probably gonna. That's the average
Yeah.
of when they would move again. So
Yeah.
anyway, just again, that's the beauty of the automations.
Yeah.
Once you can set them up, it takes work setting them up, but once they're set up and going, it's like done.
Yeah. Yeah.
Assign it
I-
to that client, that prospect, that lead, whatever, and then it just runs. So go ahead, Tracy. I cut you off.
No, 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 no. I'm cutting you off too. I'm sorry. I was just thinking how I use Wise Pelican. I think I do more than what I think I do. So like Wise Pelican Thanksgiving, I'm going to send out some type nice postcard for Thanksgiving, for Christmas. I am more in touch than I think for every holiday. I didn't do anything for Valentine's besides Galentine's, but I'm going to send something out for St. Patrick's. Whether it's I love Wise Pelican. They have some cute little postcards, so I'm going to probably send out some lucky drink, something. Even to my pastors, they. They think.
Yeah.
But I'm going to send out something St. Patrick. and just kind of go with every holiday. So I think I make more touches than I think, just not automated.
Right. Right. For sure. Bill, what were you starting to say?
Oh, I was just going to say wins. I've had, mine's been more where I'm not in production. I'm more rev share, but had 3 referrals. Jeff, my father-in-law, passed away right before Christmas, and so my wife has been in Arkansas since then, helping get things together. And more than you care to know, but my father-in-law and my mother-in-law have been. We joke they're the happiest married separated couple we know, because he has a condo in a golf community where he plays golf Monday through Friday, or played golf Monday through Friday. And then they have a lake house that they live together during the weekend, and they're happy and it works, but he passed away. So we've been selling the condo, and the joy of EXP is being able to reach out to an EXP agent who specializes in Hot Springs Village. And then I also had a referral. Actually, I'm the first person referring someone to sell in New Zealand with EXP New Zealand. So I have a friend of mine from Texas who married a Kiwi, and so they're in New Zealand. And so we've been handling all the stuff with my father-in-law, and that's, he was a believer, so we know where he is. It's a blessing, but it's still, Jeff, as you know, it's heartbreaking. It's tough.
Yeah.
So
For sure.
anyway, so my wins have been referrals
It's good.
last month.
Very good. Let's see. What did you say there, Tracy? I added a team member to my Georgia team, working on 3 prospects coming to EXP. Okay, good.
Yeah, I got 3, but they're 2 of them are with small boutiques, and let me see. No, actually, all 3 of them are with small boutiques, and been strategic in inviting them to training. They were invited to this training. Let me see. No one's on here, but I invite them to every training that we have, and I think they found a value in the connections that we have, and that we're getting ideas from all over the nation. So you're in your little boutique. That's all you're getting. You know what I mean? So you're able to get some great ideas from all over the nation, and I think they feel the difference. They see the difference. And so they're making their transition, 3 of them. So one's in Louisiana, one's in Texas, one in Memphis. And then the Georgia team member, he had left EXP for a while, and just financials, financial issues. And then he's coming back, and he said, hey, I want to be a part of the team. So that's pretty cool. And he's a YouTube sensation too. He can teach us a lot about YouTube. I'll see if we can get him on.
That's good. It's something to just be mindful of, guys. These are always open. Really every day, but especially Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Guests are welcome to come anytime. It's not to push them. It's just to show them. I don't know. Give them some value. They'll learn something on Tuesdays and in here as far as their business and how to get more leads and how to close more deals and all that kind of stuff. But just show them what we got. Sometimes it is more than it's more than I've ever had. I know that. I don't know. All my years of 24 years now, real estate, whatever. It's like the collaboration that goes on here is beyond anything I've ever seen. So anyway, it's always open. It's a great way to just show people what we got. And you're right. That's what will happen, Tracy. All of a sudden they see like, holy cow, I'm getting more here than I'm getting where I'm at. Like, yeah, tell me more about it. Like how you guys work, how you set up.
Yeah. Because there's a side of you that feels like, oh, they're going to come over here and get the nuggets. People get nuggets all the time, and they don't even put them in the grease.
Yeah.
They don't even fry them up. I got so many agents that are on all these calls. You got all those notes. When are you going to activate them?
Yeah.
You got a notebook full of notes. So don't worry about that. They're not going to take anything.
Knowledge isn't power. It's the application of knowledge. That's
Correct.
Power. So,
Correct.
Anyway, for sure. Hey, Jennifer, I don't know if you're able to unmute. You might be busy doing stuff. Jennifer Krosh, are you able to unmute? I know we had her on.
Yes.
How are you?
I'm good. I take off my camera, but I'm volunteering at the furniture mission right now. So I'm stocking cap, and I'm just sitting on the back dock waiting for deliveries to come in.
Okay. Good for you. So no, just real quick, because I know last week we talked a lot with you as far as all these open houses you're doing. Tell everybody what happened last weekend.
So I had a whale. I had an open house on a Saturday. It was one of my 3, and we had great conversation with a couple that came through. They were casually looking. I didn't spoon feed them my information. We had great conversation. They took my information. And then Sunday about noon, I got a text from them that says, hey, we really love that house. We're going to talk to our lender tomorrow. And So I've since signed them to buyer's agency, and we're working on a contract for that property.
Awesome. Right out of the open house. It's all going to pay off. All this kind of work that
Yeah.
you're doing, you know?
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, it's been amazing. So I had a 30-day, 30 open house challenge. I'm at 17.
Oh,
I have one tonight, and I have, I think, 3 or 4 of them scheduled this weekend. And but yeah, that same house that I picked up these clients last weekend, I picked up another relocating family in that same house the weekend before.
wow.
good.
So yeah, it's been absolutely phenomenal. Just the response that I've gotten. I naturally have great conversations. I just am working on the follow through part of it, that whole setting the appointment thing.
Yeah. Any tips there from anybody as far as that piece? Tracy, any thoughts on that right there as far as setting appointments with people? Here's the
Set the
lead.
point.
Here's the lead that comes in, or here's somebody you meet at the open house. Like, what some ideas as far as getting it to that next step, like getting to where you want to actually sit down with them and meet with them, or meet them on Zoom. Like, any
Okay, let me
thought?
make sure I understand because I looked at the text and I
I
kind of
have to
diverted.
mute here for a moment, okay?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay,
Go ahead.
okay. Yeah, I diverted my attention to a text real quick. So you're
That's
saying
okay.
that she did a
Like,
lead.
getting a prospect to an appointment. Like turning it into an appointment.
Yeah, I mean, so once you find out, I guess what they're needing, let's say, okay, if it's an open house and they came to the open house or they just kind of were generated from the boosting of the open house, I'll just call and say that, hey, thank you so much for your interest in 123 Main Street. What brings you to this property? What captures your attention the most? Trying to figure out what's going on with them, and of course, if they're in the market looking. I don't always ask them, do they have an agent? I'll just say, is anyone helping you? That's my slick way of asking, do you have an agent? So is anyone helping you with this? And they'll say yes or no. And then some of them, if they don't get that question, I will eventually have to ask them, do you have an agent?
Yeah.
But from there, just kind of asking a lot of questions for the most part. And then once you get the answers, then you know which way to take them. Did you plan on paying cash or, were you getting financing? Have you spoken with the lender yet? Oh, do you know about the grants? I mean, I just try to, bring as much information as I can.
Conversation. Yeah.
Yeah, just open up the conversation and hopefully no one's helping them and I can be their help. And then that's when I really take on ownership. Oh my goodness, you don't have anyone. Well, I'm so excited to be your agent. You know what I mean? And I'll just go
Yeah.
ahead and take ownership. And they, from there, I said, so if anyone asks you, you have an agent now, and just kind of take it from there. But yeah, and then I get that
Good.
appointment. If they want to, I hadn't been doing a lot of buyer appointments. It seems like I always meet my buyer at the first house if they're a stranger, but I don't do a lot of buyer consultations to break down the whole process. It's all over the phone per se.
Mhm.
But the listing appointment, yeah, I'll say, I'd like to come take a look and assess. I give them a rough draft from RPR and say, okay, so here's RPR. It's got 5-star confidence that you're around this price point. But I have to come and take a look myself and do a proper assessment. And so what's the best day and time for you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. It's
Yes,
really
sir.
good. So very cool. And earlier, Tracy was talking about how you're getting found. Whatever, like ChatGPT recommending you.
Yeah, it was crazy.
As the,
It was so crazy. I said, I mean, this guy's going to be, well, like I say, he's selling his home in San Diego. It's 3 million. She said his budget was going to be 2.3. I was so excited because I've done million. I think my biggest one maybe in 1.4. So I've done 4 over a million. But this one was going to be my biggest one at 2.3. I was like, get out of here. And so I said, well, where'd you find me? And she said, oh, I looked up on ChatGPT and it said that you were the #1 agent in Georgia for luxury. I was like, I mean, I was just so tickled at that. I was so tickled. And the only thing I do with ChatGPT is I clearly wear it out because now, once the caricatures went out there and everybody was making those flyers, digital flyers with the caricatures, did everybody take advantage of that?
Yes.
A lot of us did, right? And so I started making chat do all my photos. I said, okay, chat. So in the spirit of got milk, will you create me a flyer that says got a 620 credit score? If you do, I have $17,500 in grant money. So Bank of America has $10,000 that they give for down payment assistance and an additional 7,500 toward closing costs. And that's Bank of America all over the nation. So I have my particular lender I work with, and So it made me that flyer. I'm gonna see if I can, I don't know if I can put a flyer in here or not, Jeff, but
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
was so cool. And I said, have money all around me, put me in a black suit. And the main thing is do not change my facial features at all. My face and hair must not change. No drift. That's the word that you use. No drift in my face and hair. And when I tell you the flyer comes out perfect, so now I even use it for all my photos. Hey, I just got this house under contract. Here's a picture of me. No drift, no changes. It's in this city. Be sure to put my information. Here's my logo. And ChatGPT would do a better flyer than Canva 24/7.
That's
So if
funny.
y'all not using that, please, please play around with it.
Yeah, no kidding. Wow.
Yeah, it is amazing. Let me see if I can find my 620.
Well, I'm going to put a link in here too. We had, let me see here, right here, this YouTube video. This is Nick Cram, who comes in every month for AI training. And this is, I think, from 2 months ago. But if you haven't watched it, he did do a training on how to be found by ChatGPT. Because more and more people are using AI to do searches and do different things. Everybody's using it on their phone whether they realize it or not. My mom, who's 83 in Indiana, who doesn't think she knows anything about AI, and she doesn't, but she's using it every day because it's now built into everything we're doing. You do a Google search and you're seeing AI results on different things. And so anyway, but Nick did this whole training on how to be found by AI, as a realtor, and really, really good stuff. If you haven't watched that one, I put that link there in the chat. Definitely worth, putting on your list of things to watch and check out. But it'll put you up there like Tracy, no. Number one
There it is.
luxury
Check it
agent
out,
in your
y'all.
market. So,
I mean, I don't know who that girl is. She's beautiful, but I just put the flyer in the
that's
comments.
awesome.
Isn't that cool? I made that flyer. I said, put money all around me.
That's really good. Yeah.
hmm Yeah, I got a 620 credit score, 17.5. Now I did change my logo up a little bit, but it didn't bother me to say that.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, that flyer gets a lot of attention. I also had to do one for foreclosure. Are you threatening foreclosure, trying to get listings? And it did one for foreclosure as well. Don't be silent. Let's talk to see what our options are. And it did an amazing one for foreclosures too. So you just tell it, I mean, you have to be, the thing is being exact. You have to be very specific in your requests for it. And he's got me looking 10 years younger, but and you talk to her like it's your friend. So, oh my God, you're the best. That is so great.
That's awesome. I'm going to download that.
And sometimes he has me look at the chat. I don't know why I think it's the man. It could be a beautiful woman back there. I don't know. But the robot. And so I said, wow, you got me looking super young. Can you give me a little bit more? Can you make me look a little bit older and make me look a little bit fuller? Because I'm not as slim as it makes me too. So I'm like, make me a little bit fuller, make my thighs a little bit thicker. You have to be so specific. And it's just amazing. It's crazy.
That's
It's
awesome.
crazy. Yeah.
Well, it's funny because, like, even that right there, one of the things that we've been doing, my wife's been doing she's been making a lot of reels, different things. We've been posting just some videos, just short videos, home tours, that kind of stuff. I mean, she's doing them for YouTube and some different things. But again, going more with some of these homes, really going more based on like what the monthly payment could be versus the list price of the house.
Oh, yeah.
And that will make a difference. I mean, she's had multiple calls off of those, just people wanting more information, because again, she went down to one of the builders that she's done several deals with and just sat down with them and all the incentives they have in place right now. There's one, they have $60,000 of incentives in place, and you can use it to buy down your rate, to, buy down your loan, to, whatever, more stuff in the house, like all these different things that you can do. And so just working with that and then coming up with like, what would it take for, a first time buyer, they had homes in that price range. What would it take to get them into one of these homes? What would the monthly payment be? And then you can market with that. So, she's done a couple of videos now, like, you can get in this house for $2,200 a month, whatever, and $2,300 a month. It's like, it's very similar to what a lot of people around here are paying for rent, and if they can just see like, wait a minute, I can get the same, I can get that house for the same or less than what I'm paying for rent or close to it. Like, tell me more. How does that work?
Oh my God, that's good. It's very good.
Yeah, things to do. We had a guy, we've told this story before, but Phil Martin, he's down in Dallas, and he's doing the new construction funnel, and that's exactly what he did. This is a couple of years. This is probably 2 years ago now. But I remember he went out and he showed us all the video. He went out in front of one of the model homes. He sat with one of the builders, went into their office, sat with the sales rep, sat with the builder's lender, and 30 minutes. Okay, tell me what it would take to get into this home for $2,200 a month. I want to market to some first time buyers. They ran all the numbers, and he went outside of one of the model homes and just, held his phone up, just did a selfie video basically, and said, and he basically went like this. It was like, he said, are you sick and tired of renting? Are you sick and tired of building your landlord's future instead of your own? Well, listen to me. If you have a credit score of 680 or higher, if you have $5,000 to put down, I can get you into this brand new home right here behind me for $2,200 a month. Let me show you the home. And he turns around, he walks in, turns the camera around, and just walking through the house. Here's the hardwood floors, here's the new kitchen with the stainless steel appliances and the granite countertops, and here's the backyard. Just again appealing to people who are renting, doing this tour. Here's this video that goes on for like 2 minutes, and he posted that video 4 and 5 times a day on all his social media. He just kept posting, which is free to do. He did make an ad out of it as well, because it was working. But here's what happened. He's like, here's the home. Then he comes back at the end of it. He says, so, you can keep renting that 1,000 square foot apartment, or I can get you into this home right here for the same or less than what you're paying for rent. We need to talk. Click the link below. And the link below, instead of going into like a drip campaign and all this kind of stuff, the link below connected to a Zoom calendar. It was like his Calendly link. And people could pick a time to come in and get on his schedule. So he opened up his schedule. I remember it was like Monday through Friday, 5 to 8 p.m. He had 30-minute time slots, and people were getting on, whatever. And he started filling his calendar up. So he's just meeting these people for 30 minutes. Tell me, hey, good to meet you guys. Tell me about yourselves. How long you been renting? What do you guys do for work? Do you have any idea what your credit score is? Some do, some don't. They think they do, but they don't. Different things like that. He just did all this, met with these people, and then he would get them over to the builder's lender, who knew he was doing this. So the builder's lender, whatever, he's meeting with them. Next day, builder's lender calls back. Yeah, I talked to John and Sue, and yeah, man, they don't, their credit, they couldn't buy a shed. I mean, right now, their credit score is horrible. Whatever, we can put them in credit repair. They were all in different places, But here's this couple. Yeah, no, they're good to go. So he calls them up and, hey, you guys heard from the lender. You guys are good to go. Let's set a time to meet at the house. Friday afternoon, 3:00, Saturday morning, 9:00, whatever. He put 22 buyers under contract in 2 months. How's that?
Wow. That's awesome.
That's a good year for every agent on here. I mean, whatever. And those are new builds, whatever. So he just had this thing running. He just built the machine. But again, just did that video and just posting it multiple times a day. Created an ad out of it, whatever. But man, to even get a couple buyers under contract every month on a new build like that, it's like, holy cow, like what would that do? But he advertised it, with, again, the monthly payment, not, here's a home for $480,000, whatever, and interest rates. Buyers don't care about the interest rates. They think they do, but it's more about the monthly payment. Can the monthly payment work? If the monthly payment can work, that's really what they care about. The headlines are talking interest rates. So
that's right.
Anyway, but
because they don't even understand those calculations. So you're so right. I remember doing a post that said, hey, if you make $60,000 a year, I can get you in this house. And I got an immediate client. I mean, she comes to, wait a minute, I make 70. So what do you mean? So I talked about, and next thing you know, she's in a townhome within 30 days. It's like, girl. Yeah. Awesome. So if you focus on something, that's amazing. I love what he did. I'm going to definitely copy that. With these low interest rates that they're offering, helping people understand the benefit of those ARMs now. The 5-year, 7-year locked in ARMs, man, those are winning ways, ways to win rather. And so, yeah, I'm going to rock with that.
Yeah.
Great.
So here, I'll show you something real fast. So here's one of these. Let's see here. Let's see if I can play this. Let me share the sound here. Hold on. I'm not going to play the whole video, but it's short, but you're here, like here at the very beginning. Come on. Let's see here. My Zoom's doing crazy stuff. Okay. Let me share this. So right here at the very beginning.
The home community has so much to offer. This is a Richmond American home, and you can get these homes for around $25.50 a month all in. So let's take a quick look. The home community has so much to offer.
All right. Quiet. But again, just like that's what she did.
Yeah.
And it's just, it was just a tour through the house, whatever, put it to some music and, but again, the 25.50 a month, it just, that makes the phone ring. That makes people call and ask how do I get that? Tell me more kind of thing. So
Right.
anyway,
I love it.
that's my wife, by the way. Look at me. I'm a good salesman. I definitely outkicked my coverage.
I was about to say the same thing. You really outkicked your coverage.
Well, you did. As someone who did that myself.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, drop to my knees every day. Thank you, Lord. Oh my goodness. Anyway, Andy, good to see you. How are you?
What up?
You had you had a call. How'd your call go?
Ooh, buddy. I had 4 or 5 strategy calls yesterday. I've got 4 scheduled for today, and I've got 5 scheduled for tomorrow so far.
Yeah.
So
Awesome.
agents are wanting to move, and they're wanting to see what we offer at Freedom Team. So there you go.
It's the truth. Yep, for sure. I got 3 today.
Good
And
stuff.
I've got, let's see here. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tomorrow. Yeah, so same thing. By the end of the day, I'm just like, okay, I can't talk anymore. I'm done. I'm done talking.
Yeah, me too.
So anyway, good problem to have. Jennifer, I like that thing you did too. You posted it there in the chat.
Yeah.
That's very cool. The character thing. Yeah. I like that. It's funny. AI. Who else has something? Who else has a question or comment or thought? Something that's working for you? Something that you need help with? Something? Just any ideas? I don't know. Who wants to talk? Anybody? A lot of people on. Everybody with their cameras off. Jeff, go ahead.
Yes, I'll just toss it out there. I've been leaning heavily on my warm leads through Bold Trail Dial since the year started. But if anybody wants to chime in about, what I, as a relatively new EXP person since last summer, could step up with regard to my game. I know when I reached out through Slack through my state channel, I mentioned that I spoke to. There's a Bold Trail option to pay like $1,050 a month for lead generation, and another agent said, "Don't do that. Don't do that. You got your own." So I don't know if there's any way to step up my game. I'm open.
So leave your mic open, Jeff.
For buyers and sellers leads or for agent leads?
Oh, great question. This is buyer seller leads, and the other thing is too. I really since joining EXP, it's been on the back of my mind, like how, and I think we might have touched on this last time we met, how I can approach folks from the agency I was previously aligned to, just to like cherry pick and get some quality agents, which I haven't done yet.
Okay. So again, if I understand, you're looking like just ways to bring in more leads, more buyer seller leads. Okay.
Yeah.
Different ideas there. And then second thing, going back to your previous brokerage, how do I talk to those agents kind of thing?
Yeah.
Okay. And anybody feel free to jump in. Okay. This isn't,
well,
I don't have all the answers.
If I might, Jeff, address the agent thing first.
Yeah,
who is your immediate sponsor?
That's a great question, because I accidentally signed up through somebody who's Georgia based because it just came up on an internet search, even though I'm Connecticut based. And so it's a bit of if I could reassign all that to Connecticut people, because my Connecticut team is hardworking, and I spoke initially to that Georgia agent once, or broker, and she's out of my life. So it's a bit of a mess with me and EXP.
I would probably reach out to them and tell them that you're interested in doing that. And the reason why I say that is because if they are actually active recruiting, it's going to be an easy transition for you. You can just talk to the people that were at your previous brokerage and say, "Do you want to know why I moved?" and then basically set up a three-way call with that broker, and then have them talk to them about coming over. That way you don't have to do the heavy lifting. You ain't got to do any learning. You just basically make an introduction.
Okay,
It's an easy transition.
The thing is, I think if I were the agent on the other end, I would feel like ambushed, or I don't know what the right word is, but
you'd be surprised. They don't feel that way.
Okay.
Because you're doing them a favor.
Yeah, I realize that.
One of the things, Jeff, is you're going to hear people here say this, but when you're talking to other agents, that Eric Golden says this all the time, your timing is more important than your invite, meaning, you kind of can't say the wrong thing to the wrong person, the right thing to the right person, or the wrong thing to the right person, or the right thing to the wrong person. But the one thing you're looking for is, there are people right now that are sitting there thinking, man, I don't know if I'm at the right place. I need to look at moving. And your hope is that you're talking to that person at that time. You just don't know until you talk to them. So, man, my whole conversation with agents is, hey, we've got some amazing things that we're doing. Would you be open to taking a look at what we're doing and seeing if we can put more money in your pocket? It's basically that principle. And my goal is to find those people that are open to taking a look at what EXP has to offer. Some are going to tell you yes, some are going to tell you no. And then that process, and if you go to Freedom Team Support, I think I have it right up here, freedomteamsupport.com, there's some great agent attraction scripts in there that are ways to call an agent. And your goal is to see if they're open to taking a look at why 85,000 agents have joined our company, why agents are moving, why agents just like them are making a move, and what we're doing with support and all of this kind of camaraderie that can put more money in their pocket.
Great. I will
and your goal is not to convert them. Your goal is to see who's open to taking a look at what we offer.
Yeah, I'm totally open to all sorts of rejection, whether it's I'm no stranger to that, so it's all right by me.
I tell agents all the time, I've been married 37 years. I take no for an answer really well. So you can go with, you're not going to hurt my feelings telling me no.
Yeah. One of the things that I always emphasize, Jeff, if I'm calling an agent, just, again, would you be open to looking at, why I made the move to EXP? Then I emphasize this, I don't expect you to move. I'm not here to get you to move. It may be for you, it may not be for you. I'm totally good either way. I just want to see if you'd be open to looking at why I made a move and why 87,000 agents have in the last several years. That's it. Would you be open just to getting the information? And a lot of people are open to getting the information, and then sometimes I'll even say this, like even me, I'll just say right now, if somebody called me today to look at something, I go look at it. I don't know. You don't know what you don't know. I've always been open-minded to look at things. I've said no to hundreds of things over the years, but just being open-minded has led to everything I've ever been able to do and accomplish in my life, honestly. I've never been afraid to look. So would you be open to look? It's almost like you just planted a seed, like, come on, you're open-minded, aren't you? Why aren't you open-minded? What's wrong with you? You're not saying that, but it's like, I'll say that,
Well, and you're going to get people that say, I love where I am. Like, I love my broker or whatever. And, that's always the thing I say, hey, I fully understand you love your broker. I'm not asking you to change brokerages. I'm asking if you'd be open to taking a look, because of those 87,000 people that have made the move, a ton of them loved their broker. It's just they saw something better here, and see if we can put more money in your pocket. I don't know if that's the case, but I can tell you for 87,000 people it was. And it's funny, the people that have told me they love their broker, and then the minute we start talking, then they start telling me how mad they are at their broker. But it was that stock answer to try to object at the beginning. And so my goal is always, hey, I'm not trying to talk you into making a move. I'm just trying to see if you'd be open to taking a look.
Yeah. I always say, I always say you need to make an educated decision. It's okay for it to be a no. It could be a no, but at least your no will be solid. You know what I mean? And that way you can come back and rebut to people why you said no. But they're probably not going to say no after they hear all this goodness.
One of the things I've heard Tim say too, which I think is just gold, is that, since you are fairly new to coming over to EXP, is if there's anybody at your previous brokerage that you want to talk to about this and you want to, basically get their opinion on it, he says, make a phone call to them and say, hey, look, I just made this move and I really value your opinion. I really think a lot of what what you've done in your business. Can you take a look at this for me and make sure that I haven't made a mistake? And once they see it, they can't unsee it. Then they'll go, oh my gosh, yeah, you did great. Who do I need to talk to?
Yeah, this is in one case it would be a very humbling conversation because Matt is the first agent that comes to my mind, and he's probably 25, 26 years old and a real hotshot, like a whiz with online advertising, videos with his drone, aerial shots of properties, and just really good with computer stuff. And so yeah, just that it'll be humbling to get somebody who's that young and has that much of a future ahead of them. If I could not persuade him, but just introduce him to the option. And then the other thing too is that previous brokerage was 70% agent commission. And even though, and I assume it's all the same with the EXP agents, 80%. I anticipate getting some sort of like backlash about the monthly costs of being an EXP agent. I don't know. These are the things I anticipate.
But my thing is like, if you can get them to the point where they'll just run the numbers, because there's so many times you just run the numbers out, like run the numbers where they are right now. And there's some spreadsheets out there. I'd have to find it. I got one on here, like a brokerage comparison thing, that you can find, whatever. But when you put the numbers in, it's like, maybe it's, I don't know, maybe I was at 100% brokerage before I came over here, and the stock thing really hit me because I knew we'd hit Icon and get our 16,000 back. I'd never seen a way where I get over 100%. And that was what got me. It's going to be different for everybody, but when
another thing worth tossing into this conversation is that previous agency kind of capitalized on the fact that we're in the city of New Haven and people are coming and going, not just from Yale University, from all the universities, the faculty, it's a city like any city where people are coming and going. So they capitalized on the rental market. And I feel like since joining EXP, I'm a small fish in a big pond in this city where I'm trying to, I don't have that system in place. I'm not a broker. And I just wonder how I can scoop some of that up, and some of that business. And yeah, there's a question in there somewhere. I'm so far me. Sorry.
Well, you need to find, like, again, go into marketing, like ways to make yourself stand out in the crowd of agents, I mean, and then that was one of the things, like for me, when I first got started, again, my first broker, good guy. He's the reason I got my license, but very old school. Had me out there door knocking, cold calling, all the stuff that every other realtor, everybody's doing all this stuff and whatever. I plugged into coaching. I got around the right agents, and a lot of them are at EXP, whatever, and having this kind of mastermind where you start learning ideas and things from other agents and things that are working, and you plug into as many different groups like this as you can and different trainings like this you can. You pick up nuggets of marketing ideas. I learned how to set myself apart. And so I was part of Craig Proctor's coaching program. One of the things that we always did, we had all kinds of guarantees. So we had buyer guarantees, seller guarantees, all these different things that we would do. Like, how can I help? How can I answer some of the issues that buyers and sellers are facing right now? And how can I take some of that risk away? So like a buyer guarantee that we did, I was talking to Jennifer Cross last week about this, or 2 weeks ago. I had an 18-month buyer guarantee. So, buy any home with me. And if you're unhappy with your home purchase, anytime within the first 18 months of being there, I will either buy the home back from you or I'll sell it for free.
Yeah, I've adopted that.
That was my guarantee. And so, so here's what happens. You get a lead that comes in, they get on your website or whatever, they're looking at homes, you call them up and you're trying to set them up on a home search or whatever, and they're getting homes from 3 other agents, and they just don't want homes from another agent and whatever. So here, first of all, I would ask them, like, if that's the case, would you like, I could set you up on a home search, whatever, all this kind of, oh, no, we're already getting homes from 3 other agents. We got realtor.com, Zillow, we're doing all kinds of stuff. Like we're getting bombarded right now. Like we're good on that. Hey, real quick, just so you know, I'll ask you, are you working with an agent right now? Have you locked in with an agent? No, we're not at that stage yet, but no, we're good. Well, real quick, just so you know, a couple things. I don't know what the other agents are sending you. Just so you know, the list that we send out also includes all the regular properties, but also all the pre-foreclosures, the divorce sales, the probates, the corporate relocation properties. Those are all in there as well and more. Would that be helpful for you? And they'll, oh, wow, okay, yeah. It's like I'm creating doubt in their mind that I'm going to send them more. I'm going to set them up on an MLS search. Now, here's what I will do with that. I will come in maybe a couple times a week, and I'll go a little bit outside of their search. And I might just send them, here's a list of, short sales, because I can search that on my MLS. I can just different things. Just again, I'm trying to add value to them. Okay. I'm probably going to be sending them a lot of what they're already getting, and that's okay. But I just want my foot in the door to try and win them over. Now, the other thing I would always say then is, just so you know, too, one other thing, we have this buyer guarantee. If you decide to work with me as your agent, any home you buy with me, you're going to be covered for 18 months. If you're unhappy, I'll either buy the home back from you or I'll sell it for free. Well, how's that work? Oh my gosh, we've never heard that before. Yeah, I'm the only one in town that does it, and they'd sign with me every time. And so now here's the thing. The buyback program was a guaranteed sale program we had. They had to be moving up, buying one of my listings. That's a whole nother deal. And I could explain that, whatever. I never had to buy a home, but you could take that part out, which gives you zero risk at all. Buy any home with me. And if you're unhappy within 12 months, 6 months, 18 months, you make it yours, whatever, I will sell your home for free. So you can buy the home that you really, really want, and the selling for free part, here's what happens. Okay. And this is all on a form. I'm going to list their house. They're unhappy for whatever reason. They're making a move. They need to be buying another home with me. That's the criteria for that program to work. Okay. So if they're moving out of state or job loss, just different things like that, it's not going to qualify. They need to be buying another home with me. So I will put 0% on my side when I list it. We're going to put 3% to pay the buyer's agent coming in, or 2.5%, or whatever it is. You guys decide that. We're going to pay that agent, but I will work for free. I will do it at 0 because I'm going to get paid over here 3% when they buy the next home with me. So I'm still making money on the deal, But it took away. Here's the thing. How does that help a buyer? It's like, especially first-time buyers. That buyer's remorse that can kick in. Are we doing the right thing? Oh my gosh, what if another home comes on the market we like better? What if the rates go down? Are we all these different things that come into play where the deal could fall apart along the way? And I would always remind them, like, hey, I'm not here to push you on any home. If you want to get out of this home, we'll get out of this home. But this checked every box. You looked at how many homes. This is a great house. You're going to love it. I mean, I think you'll love it. Whatever. But again, you're covered. If you get in there and you're unhappy, I will work with you. To get you into the right home. And so I had to take that offer up maybe 5 or 6 times over my 20-some years of doing it. But I always got paid on the next house when they bought the next house. So, but it would get them to sign on with me too, because it was just something that nobody else was doing. I learned marketing and how to make myself different from every other agent in town. I had that guaranteed sale program going on. 6 months into it, I learned it. And so I had it. I had all my ads, everything, whatever. Your home sold in 89 days guaranteed, or I'll buy it.
It wasn't like you had to have capital to cover your tracks. It's just you looked at the forward sale.
Yeah, not at all.
Okay.
There's a whole program with that and how that works. But again, in 2.5 years, I was in the top 20 in town here out of 5,000 agents. At this little company called A1 Real Estate Professionals. 5 agents. I'm one of them. Nobody's ever heard of me. Nobody's heard of this company. Who's this kid? Where did this guy come from? I'm in the top 20 in town. It's because I just learned how to set myself apart. So you think about different ways, because you go to meet a seller and they found you online or something. They bring you, you call them. They're open to meeting you for a listing appointment, but they're meeting with 3 other agents. How do you make yourself stand out? Why should they hire you? You have to figure that out. You have to show them value. And that's what I was able to do with different things. I mean, I had this PowerPoint presentation when nobody else had a PowerPoint back then. It had video in it, charts and graphs. And I would just, once you have a few closings, whatever, and even taking some of EXP's closings in your market, like you could look at this and figure this out. Maybe like here's, the average days on the market in our areas, whatever, 59 days. Well, here's our average is 29 days. That's one extra month. That's one less monthly payment you got to make, if you decide to work with my group. How much is that? How much more money is that in your pocket? Whatever. Here's the average sale to list price ratio. In town, here's the homes are selling at 95.8% of the list price. Here's ours from the last 6 months. They're selling it at 98.6%. That's 3% more. What does that mean for your house? And I have charts and graphs. I was showing them all this stuff. It's like, wow, okay, yeah, you're the guy. What's next? What do we do? And they sign on with me. So just different things like that. Because walking in the house and, please hire me. I haven't had a closing in 3 months. That's not going to work. I'm going to work hard for you. But what does that even mean? I mean, how do you differentiate? I'm the best realtor in town. I mean, it's like all these things that people will go in there and say to try and win over the listing. None of that's going to work. You got to show people your value. And so anyway, just different things you can do. Whatever. But I will tell you, we've got, like, if you go into our, under our Freedom Team YouTube channel and go to the playlist for all the Tuesday trainings and just kind of scroll down through there, we've had trainings, full on hour-long trainings on everything I just talked about. The guaranteed sale program, the buyer guarantee, I mean, all these different things in marketing, because that's a lot of what it is. And all that kind of stuff in social media kind of things, it will bring in more leads without having to spend $1,000 a month with Bold Trail to bring in leads. You definitely don't need to do that. I'm not saying not to spend money to bring in leads, because I've done that for years. There's ways to do it, but you don't need to do that. There's ways to bring in better leads at a lower cost.
There's also so many services out there that will do it for free, where you pay at closing. You don't have to pay for them up front. Now you give up, a good percentage of your commission, but I mean, 50% of something is better than 0% of nothing.
Yeah, that makes me think of the offer I got from EXP Luxury, which I guess I think I saw Tracy might be an agent with. So I've considered doing that, just like paying an amount up front that's reduced, just so I can pay the balance at closing. Let's do it with that idea. But
well, I'm going to be honest with you. Hey, I hope this doesn't disturb anything, but I paid that $2,500 the first time when luxury first was introduced to us, and I did not continue paying it every year because all of my luxury deals did not come from luxury. So now they have the sports specialist, I think, something like that, and yeah, I don't know. I thought it was a lot for me not to have gotten any deals from that. But I think overall it could come from there. Some business could come from there, but that hasn't helped me. So I only did it one time, by the way. So I call myself luxury because I am luxury, but not by way of EXP.
There's definitely there's definitely good tools that they provide. I know there's one lady that came over, and I forget who it is. She's part of our group, but she's saving $60,000 a year right now. Here from what she was paying at her previous brokerage, which was a luxury brokerage where they had like all these different things that EXP Luxury provides for her. She had to pay individually for all these things at her other company. That was one thing
Yes.
And again, I'm not a luxury agent, so I haven't gone through all that, but I know if you look at the EXP Luxury site, there's some really powerful tools and things on there that they do. But again,
I should definitely say that too, Jeff. I like I said, I think when I went, they were still kind of playing with it. So now I think they've even improved even more. So I felt like, oh man, they should give it to them for half price, because I came in at the beginning. Y'all have grown so much more. So I'm reconsidering, Jeff. I really am reconsidering. But I mean, it's a business write-off. It can't hurt. It's going to help with your presentations and things like that. But I just want to make sure that you're clear. I'm not with EXP Luxury per se.
Yeah, for sure.
I've wondered about it specifically because I don't think there's anyone in my area that is part of it.
Mm-hmm.
And there are lots of luxury houses in my area, but have not invested in it.
Mm-hmm. I definitely felt like it was a lot, being honest. I felt like it was a loss that first year. And I reconsidered. I'm in Atlanta. I'm in a city where luxury is coming along. So to have that, and I earned my certified luxury marketing home specialist designation purely off my sales though. So I still have that. I just I've just been debating. I've been talking to Tracy Lovick. I'm not sure if y'all know her, but she's in here in Georgia, and Tracy finds it to be advantageous. So I'm thinking about coming back, and I'm gonna go ahead and drop off to 2,500. But it was a hard hit at
It's a
first. I was
lot.
like, wait
Yeah.
a minute.
It's a lot. It's definitely not for everybody. I did put the link in there, expluxury.com. You can just at least go in there. There's one of the tabs on there talks about, here, I'll share my screen because a couple of things I want to show you. But there's a tab over here. Let's see, at the top right, join EXP Luxury. And it kind of goes through a little bit of a breakdown in terms of what's included. There's some good stuff in here. But
Let's do a search. They may still have me in there. Can you see a search? Can you do a search there?
let me see here.
Because when I hit it, it went to a different type of screen.
Find an agent.
Find an agent. Yeah, let's see. And let's put in Atlanta. See what comes up.
I think it's going more by name. It looks like.
They go by location too.
Does it? Okay, let me try.
Click on location.
Click to your left and location.
To the left, you see location.
I'm sorry. There we go. Got it.
There we go. Well, you could have did name too, even quicker, huh?
Atlanta, Georgia.
Let's see who's in Atlanta. Yeah.
Christie.
They got more faces. I've not seen some of these faces. Mm-hmm.
Ellen Hunter Joyce.
Yeah. Oh, Kim
Kim Campbell. Yep. No
Michael. Yeah. Okay. I know a couple of them.
Will you look at Arkansas?
Aaron. Okay. Tracy Lovely. That's my girl. Mm-hmm. And you notice it. Look at that. It says sports and entertainment. When you go back down, sports and entertainment. Yeah. So they don't necessarily work with any players yet. I did have a, but I love it because I looked up some of these agents don't even have sales. But they paid that money to be on the site, so it may give them that little leverage. When I did my website, bossmoves.com, and I was a member, I did have a little link for them to hit, EXP Luxury. And I just think they just need more advertisement as a whole, in my opinion. So that way people know to go to EXP Luxury, because I'm a luxury client. Do they really know about EXP Luxury to find these agents,
Right.
So I'm going to also mention that I explored, there's a additional, license or tier of agent that you can achieve by with some education on people who are interested in buying properties that are green energy, and I explored that. But then I found that the folks who are really so specialized in looking for that kind of house, it doesn't really. It's questionable if it merits pursuing an additional extension on your license. Right. I don't know if everybody here has that experience, but it's something I looked at.
Yeah.
Couple of things just before we wrap it up, guys, just to share this. The next Fast Cap, if you want to get into it, or if you know anybody in your group or whatever that would be good for, it starts next week, week from today. So that'll run through April 10th, April 9th, whatever. So really, really good. We got several people coming to the tail end of the one they've been on, hearing good things about that. And then just a reminder, the regional rallies. I'll put the link right here to the regional rallies in the chat as well. These are definitely something you want to get to, okay? They're cheap, $50 to $100 depending, whatever. There's 20 of them all over the country, starting the first one's March 17th. And they're, a lot of corporate execs, they all go out, corporate people be there. There'll be icon agents training. It's just a day of training. It's a day of just connecting with other agents as well, but they're all designed to be within driving distance of just about everybody. It might be an overnight stay, depending, but they're all over the country, 20 of these. So
let me see the dates for Atlanta, if you don't mind. Let me see if it's at the bottom.
Was it up? Where was it?
I saw at the bottom.
At the bottom, Atlanta, right there.
Atlanta, Georgia. Okay. Tracy. Okay. April 16th. I'm the DJ every year, y'all, so you can come get some good
all right, there you go. But yeah, see, like Leo is coming to yours, which would be awesome. So, $49 early bird through March 10th. So really, really good. There's usually lunch at all these, but again, just great training, good stuff. You definitely want to get to these. These will probably, all of them will sell out is what will happen. So be thinking about that. Hey, Lydia, real quick, are you able to unmute, Lydia, before we leave? I just saw your question in the chat. I don't know if you can unmute. I wasn't sure. 8 offers. How do I do SMCO? I wasn't sure what. Lydia, if you want to call me later, call me. Happy to help. or get you in the right direction. So who can help if I can't? Anything else, guys? We'll wrap it up.
Awesome.
Gentlemen,
Awesome call. Thank you.
good to see everybody. Thank you so
Thanks,
much.
everybody.
Jeff, real quick reminder: tomorrow is the Agent Attraction Q&A. So as far as your some of your stuff with Agent Attraction, Mondays and Thursdays, same Zoom link, as Agent Attraction. So
Okay, great.
really, really good to come
All right.
to if you want to reach out to agents. Okay?
Eastern, 11 a.m. Eastern.
11 a.m. Eastern, freedomteamzoom.live. Yep, Kelly and Eric.
Very good.
So, okay.
Thank you.
All right, we'll see you guys. Have a good day.